Last one.
Hello, judges. My name is Catherine Seekings.
And my name is Benjamin Ingwe.
My name is Victoria Adiola.
My name is Kirk Rio.
And today, our presentation is on data protection. Now, let's move on to the table of contents with Mr. Carrillo.
As y'all can see, we have our 7 main points listed right here, starting off with context, what is data protection, our local story, peer survey, myth bustings, solution, and finally our conclusion. Now onto Mr. Igwe with the context.
Thank you, Mr. C. In recent years, it's come to light that companies are selling and leaking our private data, and it happens more often than you could think. That's why we're here to bust a few misconceptions people have on protecting their data from said companies. Now on to you, Mr. C.
Thank you. So what is data protection? Data protection refers to how data is collected, how it's stored, who it's shared with, and how it's used. Our main goal is to prevent misuse, data breaches, and unauthorized access. Data protection affects students each time they download or they log into an app. Weak protection can lead to identity theft. Now on to Ms. Adiola with the local story.
In December 2024, Power School was breached, leaking sensitive information of 888,000 Texan teachers and students. The company branded itself as having the highest security, yet did not even have basic security. Now on to Mr. Igwe.
Thank you, Mr. A. To piggyback off what you said earlier, this breach caused a lawsuit by our Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and a class action lawsuit by the affected students. Even worse, experts in cybersecurity say it can be quite a long time before they can learn of an issue. Now on to Ms. Seekings.
Thank you so much, Mr. Igwe. So for our peer survey, we initially went with a stratified sample based on students' grade level, then ID number. 10 to 15 students will be selected to conduct this survey from each grade level, meaning that a total of 40 to 60 students will be conducting this survey. But due to given certain circumstances, instead we had to place a time limit and to make sure that our team members were able to give out the survey link to everyone in each grade level, making sure that we kept the limits relatively low. We averaged out the scores between each of the categories that we had to conduct this following pie chart. As we can see from the pie chart, VPNs and passwords tied first with 22.2% average. Next, we had private accounts and deleting accounts with 18.9%. And with last, we had incognito mode with a total of 17.8%. But how well does this reality, how these results end up with the reality of things? Now let's move on with Ms. Adiola with the first section of Mythbusting.
Passwords. Students mostly reuse passwords in school and on personal accounts. Long, unique passwords are better than complex ones. Password managers can make strong passwords, but they have their ups and downs. They can help students keep up with passwords easier, but breaches of managing companies are risky. VPNs. Benefits. Protects data on Wi-Fi's. Prevents others on the network from viewing your activity. But their setbacks are that they do not make you anonymous. Data can still be collected, and certain free VPNs sell their user data. Now on to Mr. C.
Thank you, Ms. Adiola. Now for with our second myth, private accounts and deleting accounts. Private does not equal no collected data. Private only determines who can and cannot view your accounts. Now for deleted accounts. Deleting does not equal deleted data. Many companies will continue to store your data unless formally asked to be deleted. Now on to Mr. Igwe with our last myth.
Thank you, Mr. C. Our third and last myth, incognito mode. Many people happen to think incognito mode can cover you across every area, but incognito mode doesn't hide activity from apps, schools, or your internet provider, nor does it keep you anonymous. However, incognito mode does happen to hide your browser history, and clear your cookies and temporary data. Now on to Ms. Seekings.
Now that we know the truths from these false professions from our peers, how do we protect students' data then? Now let's move on to how to protect your data with Ms. Adiola.
How to improve digital safety. Some way students can protect their digital safety is by encrypting emails so only the recipient intended can see the message, having two-step authentication, especially on sites that use personal information, and finally, double-checking suspicious links so that any information isn't leaked. Now, on to the district initiative with Mr. Eway.
Thank you, Ms. Ed. For our district initiative plan, we plan on improving and being more cautious with who can access our students' data and keeping record of who accesses our student data. Second, we want to implement a hospital-like tracking system where we monitor how student information is accessed. Last, we want to make it mandatory for student info to be accessed on a need-to-know basis. Now to Ms. Seekings.
Thank you, Mr. Igwe. Data exposure affects our future generations, and they should understand that there are consequences to their actions that they do online. But companies also need to be held accountable because they should not be selling their data at all, and that they should be able to ensure the data of people, not just students, are safe from these breaches. They shouldn't also sell their data for a profit or to align to a certain agenda that they want to align with based on their company's followings. Overall, companies should be up to date with how hackers and breaches access data and listen to experts in cybersecurity to be able to combat these people who want to access very sensitive data to avoid a mass loss of multiple problems on a mass scale. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for listening and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.